Assalamu alaikum students. The next half of our lecture is the furnace, which is the very important part of the thermogravimetric analysis. The furnace for thermogravimetric analysis typically covers the range from ambient temperature to 1000 degrees centigrade. You can use it up to room temperature up to 1000 degrees centigrade, but some can be used in the temperature range up to 1600 degrees centigrade. Heating rate can often be selected from, now the rate of heating can be selected from 0.1 degree centigrade to 100 centigrade per minute. So actually in furnaces high temperature is achieved due to the rods which are made up of generally carbides, silicon carbides, which are they can cope with high temperature and can supply a very high temperature to the sample. So some units can heat as rapidly as 200 centigrades per minute. So you can change the temperature control is variable. You can scan the temperature, you can keep the temperature 1 degree per minute or 100 centigrades per minute. You can change at 200 centigrades per minute, will change in each minute. The temperature will be changed from, let's suppose if we keep the temperature 100 degrees centigrade per minute, it means after each minute, after the passage of each minute, temperature will be from 100. In first minute it will be 100, in the next minute it will be 200, in third minute it will be 300. It will be after each minute it will increase 100 times, and so on and so forth with 200 degree centigrade and 0.1 degree centigrade per minute. Insulation and cooling of the exterior of the furnace is also required to avoid the heat transfer to the balance. Actually the temperature, the furnace is heat up to the temperature, and we do not want to lose this heat or convey this heat to the balance. So in order to avoid it, insulation is required for the furnace. So nitrogen or argon is usually used as a purge the furnace and prevent oxidation of the sample. So we use purge gases to avoid the oxidation of the sample, we prevent it. Actually purge gases, these are used, that this term is used in basically in fire and explosion prevention engineering. These are the inert gases which are non-combustible, which prevent the formation of the ignitable atmosphere. So if there are chances of atmosphere become ignitable, so we use purge gases for such types of atmospheres. So we can use nitrogen and argon, these are non-combustible gases, so these can be used. For some analysis it is described to switch purge gases as a analysis proceeds. Now here is the TGA. This is the TGA, the graph 31-2 of bituminous coal analysis. I think we have discussed in our previous lectures that coal that is very important for the industry, for the thermal analysis, for to provide heat and energy to your processes. For temperature, coal is it is cheapest, as well as its availability is also easy. Now in industries we perform 4 tests of these coals. We check the moisture of the coal, we check ash contents, then we check moisture, and then we check the sulfur of this. Okay, leaving the sulfur that is chemical bonded, and we are not interested in check the, but we can in TGA we can perform the three analysis of this bituminous coal. We can check the water contents of, then volatile matters, then fixed carbon, and definitely fixed carbon, the one you will burn when we burn the coal, volatile metal burns and the ash is left, that is called as fixed carbon. So here is the graph. There is a weight percent of all these three with time, and temperature is K. And now the temperature we use the atmospheres. In a nitrogen atmosphere we use it is used for 18 minutes, and oxygen atmosphere is from 4 to 5 minutes. The Tapaj gases was nitrogen during the first 18 minutes, while the moisture contents and the percentage of the volatile were recorded. The gas was then switched to oxygen, which causes oxidation of carbon to carbon dioxide. Actually, in first, when we measure the moisture and volatile content, we do not want to ignite the sample. That's why we are providing non-ignitable atmosphere to the sample by supplying the nitrogen. But in second half, we will ignite the sample. That's why we provide oxygen, and we know that when oxygen is mixed with air in some definite proportion, it will burn the sample, and then the mass percentage of, we can measure the carbon dioxide, carbon to the carbon, it will convert carbon dioxide. And then finally the experiment was concluded with nitrogen patch to give a measure of the ash contents. Now the temperature axis is usually calibrated by using a material of known Curie point, or sometimes the melting point standard. The Curie point is the temperature at which a ferromagnetic material becomes paramagnetic. The ferromagnetic material is suspended in a magnetic field oriented such that a vertical component of the magnetic field acts on the sample. The magnetic field acts as an equivalent magnetic mass on the TGA balance beam to indicate an apparent sample mass. When the sample is heated through its Curie point, the magnetic mass is lost and the balance indicates an apparent loss in mass. Temperature accuracy is better than 1 degree centigrade with most furnaces, and temperature precision is typically plus minus 0.1 degree centigrade. Furnaces are usually cooled by forced air. Most furnaces can be cooled from 1000 degree to 50 degree centigrade in less than 20 minutes. So this was all about the furnace, how the heating temperature range is set, then how we measure it by thermogravimetric. It's given the example of coal. So from the graph you can see that different curves are there. With the passage of time, definitely with the loss of water, mass will be decreased with the rise of the temperature, as well as when volatile matters are decreased, again there will be loss in the weight.